Alright, so checking in on these real quick. And man, running out of room here. But what's crazy is we did all this like this without nets or anything. We were able to train these so they're bushing out like crazy. And defoliation has been crazy. So I just defoliated yesterday quite a bit. I think the day before or day before that. There's only like a few day period in between at the most. And you could see with the training we did in this specific strain here, how much it turned into a bush. This thing has so many flower sites, pre-flower sites on it, it's insane. So it was choking itself out. I took at least half the leaves off of it. You could see how thick it still is. And the amount of future bud sites you see, that's only half of them. We got the other half, they're about to pop up and be right alongside there. So you can see on this one right here how many branches we got going out here, and that is only half of what we got going on here. So we'll see if this smaller plant is able to produce the same, more or less, than the larger plants here. We got one that's kind of in between here. We kept it on the side so it's not as bright the light there. They actually forced it to grow a little higher. But they all have a similar canopy. They're all gonna fill everything out here, I think. To the point, I think I'm gonna have to chop up at least one or two of these plants. The entire plant and the clones. Start them off to the side because they don't need as intense a light. But what we did with these, that I don't ever hear people talking about, always, it's put them in a weak light. You could repot them and bury them up to the cotyledon leaves or whatever. And the way we did it is we kept the lights on super intense, as much as they could handle without it being an issue, and it kept these plants 100% from stretching. Kept them real short and squatty like this, so even when we did raise the lights, they were already kind of grown like this. So I think this is a good method if you're trying to keep your plants nice and low. You want to be able to grow a ton of bud sites, and maybe you don't want to throw a net over it, or in preparation to when you're going to throw the net over, they're already basically all trained to grow like that instead of straight up. They got several main cola branches. They're spread out enough that you can continue to spread them out, have a really wide canopy. And if you throw a net over that thing, you could probably take that thing and get it to pretty much fill this tent. All you got to do is probably put another 2 months into the veg period. But unless I decide to get rid of a bunch of these, there's no way I'm going to do that. So now these ones, we got a ton of experiments in here. We got half a dozen strains, one of them not even available to the public yet, that we bred out. We got all different stages. These ones right here, we got them obviously to where the light's a lot higher, and they definitely are stretching more. And I'm curious, can we throw these under that 12-12 basically at the start and be able to basically have them match the canopy? They're already getting kind of close there, because these ones aren't that far off from these, and these are getting close to the ones here in the middle. So I don't know. I think we got a bunch of good experiments going on here. There's going to be a lot of side-by-side comparing with a ton of different stuff. I like a lot of the results that we got, especially with one of the methods I have never heard anybody recommend to do, and that was we topped right above the second set of nodes. Well, the plant was super small. The stem was like that thick, and this thing turned into basically like 4 plants, like this and like this, coming out into 4 buds. We didn't have to train it, and the thing was basically like it was mainlined. All 4 of those branches had multiple branches starting to grow up. It was going to have such a sick canopy to it, and all we did for the training, as I said, is just clip it right over the second set of nodes. That was it. We didn't have to do nothing else. I did snip a couple of the center branches just to keep that open in the center, but other than that, I did absolutely nothing. So if you guys would like to see that method again, we got rid of that plant. No specific reason other than somebody really wanted it, but I really wish we would have did it at least 1 or 2 more times. So if you guys would like to see it, let me know. And if there's any other comparisons that you would like to see with these or on the next run, let me know. I have no problem throwing it in the mix here, as you see. Oh, last thing before I end it, if you're a newer grower, never did it before, I do not recommend taking a bunch of different strains like we're doing, and or taking a bunch of different methods, because you can have different results unless you're able to really read plants good. Between the different strains, they take different amount of nutrients. So you can see these are much darker right there. We just recently adjusted everything down, and these, they're a little bit lighter, so we're gonna have to, and again darker, so we're gonna adjust the mixtures. The lighter ones are gonna get a little bit more nitrogen, the ones that are darker are gonna get a little bit less, and we'll see if we can get these all to come back in the middle here. So anything else, like I said, you want to see, let me know. And if you can't think of anything off of the top of your head, we're gonna have a lot of different stuff. So hopefully you guys show support. It's the only way we're gonna survive here as a new grow series. Your boy Chris out.